So that's the piece that I think is missing. What if we could take our time and actually ease into drinking the amount of water that we want and then work on really making it a habit? Use foundational, scientifically proven techniques to actually build habit out of drinking water or exercising. And because here's the added bonus, if you're really clear on who you are and what's important to you today, not in the past, but right now, what your goals are today, how much mental energy and physical energy do you need now in order to really feel excited about how you show up? Then you know exactly how much energy you need to produce, right? If you're trying to climb Mount Everest, you need a lot of energy. But if your kids are grown and you're not really excited about work, maybe you need a little bit less. But if you're somewhere in the middle, you got to figure out what that is for yourself. And you just do that, I think, by drinking water and seeing how you feel. Exercising regularly and seeing how you feel. Getting good nutrition and seeing how you feel. And here's the other thing. It's really unfortunate that we spend a lot of time trying to undo things that we've done and said that weren't the way we really wanted to show up for the people and the projects that we love. Simply because we've just run out of energy and we said the wrong thing, or we didn't do the thing that we really wanted to do. We didn't make the offering to our daughters or our nephews the way that we really wanted to. We weren't able to have the energy at the end of the day to really speak to our neighbor when they came to us with some concern about what's going on in the neighborhood. Or, we didn't have really the best conversation with our partners or husbands or wives the way we would like to have, because we didn't sleep well the night before and we ended up being nonchalant about something that was really important to them, or we weren't as patient as they were trying to describe what was happening, or you know how it goes, right? So then what do we have to do? We have to go back and fix those things. We got to go back and apologize. We have to go back and try to remember what was the problem, and go back and all along what we really did was diminish the trust that person has in us. Do they really feel like they can come to you and with a real big issue if the last couple times that they've come to you, you didn't have time for them, or you didn't feel well, or you didn't have the mental capacity to deal with their stuff too? Erode trust. Really, that's what we're trying to do in a nutshell. We're trying to build good relationships with the people that we care about. So not having the mental and physical energy that we're looking for, that we need in order to show up for all the busy things and all the busy people that are in front of us, not having that energy when you actually need it, I think it sets us back. Certainly allows for a lot more internal negative conversation going on in the back of our heads. Keeps us up at night. It compromises the trust that we have in ourselves. We start to second guess ourselves. We question our ability to be good partners or good wives or good parents, good employees or good bosses. Yeah. So I think that actually we're pushing ourselves to try to be there for folks, but because we're not there for ourselves first, we're not putting ourselves first, taking care of ourselves, making sure that we good exercise and food and rest and our time for ourselves. Because we're not doing that, we end up trying to be there for them with a really low battery level. And that low battery level, like the life doesn't go away. Those people and things, they don't go away. They're still in front of us, but we have a low battery level. And so we try to speak and do the right things from that low battery level, and it just doesn't work very often. Spending time focusing on your own self-care then allows us to be there the way that we really want to and the way that those people need us. Some people really need you to listen. And guess what? Listening requires a ton of energy, right? Like, you got to hold yourself back. Sometimes it's really easy to want to answer or fix the problem when really they just need you to listen. Sometimes you're thinking to yourself, we've been through this before, but what they don't need to hear that, they need you to listen, right? Sometimes we've got other things on our mind and we don't even really want to sit that long, but what they need is for us to listen. It requires a fair amount of mental and physical energy to just be still, be there, listen, be attentive, active listening skills, right? Yes, I understand. Please tell me more, right? Building good relationships requires a ton of energy. And that's the part that we don't want. We don't want to have regrets that we weren't there for this person when they were younger, or we weren't there for them over and over again a year ago. So now, when they really need something big, they choose to go to somebody else. And because of that, they actually miss out on the gift that we have to offer. Maybe you know them since they were little children. And so you understand a lot of the things that get in their way that they don't even recognize. But they don't get that information from you because they don't trust that you're going to be the person who's there for them because of the experiences they've had in the past. Yeah. How many marriages go to the wayside because, what was important to our partners, we weren't there. We weren't able to pay attention. We weren't able to sit and talk it through. We weren't able to be patient. Yeah. We weren't able to think outside the box, help them figure out a different way of going through this process, right? Maybe they only had one idea of what to do for themselves. But because you've been through this situation with them before, maybe you're able to think outside the box and come up with a different way of going about it when you have that mental and physical energy. But when you don't, you're just like, look, I can't go through this again. I don't want to talk about this anymore. And then you look up 5 or 6 years later and the marriage is very different than it was in the past. Very different than what you dreamt it to be.